Hi. Anyways, so this is the book to get. And I spoke to Dina, who works at Torah Gem, and she's going to be ordering some. Okay, that's the first thing I wanted to say. Is this mine?
Yes.
Is this mine?
No,
I poured it is safer. It's not easy to learn. It's Breslov and it's all in Hebrew. But the reason I bring it with me is the pictures are absolutely unbelievable. Gorgeous, gorgeous photography that we got going on here. So it's to me, it's look at that. It's the Shemayim. We did this last. I mean, that's a whole one. I mean, what are we doing in Perek Shira? Perek Shira is a very visual thing to learn, honestly, right? We're looking at the wonders of creation. When you're looking at the wonders of creation this morning, we want to see the wonders of creation. Okay, so today I hope with the Shem stuff we're going to do the land and heaven and hell. You said the H word, H-E double hockey sticks if you're from Canada, and you will get that. This is the art scroll one. This is whatever. This is a different page. Okay, I don't usually have so many with me. No. I said before, everyone really should bring their own Perek Shira with them, only because. Yeah.
How many?
I don't. Okay. Yeah. It's really good to have the pasuk in front of you because we are not Israeli. So if I just say the pasuk one time, then it's going to be hard for you to remember what it said. So when you look at the words, then it's I should just tell you that Baruch Hashem, my Hebrew has improved a lot, and you should know that Hebrew is it's a language that makes sense. My kids, when they're learning English, they're like, "Ma kesher," that THOUGH is though, and TOUGH is tough. And I say, tough luck. No, whatever. It's true. But Hebrew is amazing. Hebrew is the coolest thing. It just makes sense. And when you say you don't know a word, look at it again. Because and again, and again. And it could be that, oh, I do know that word. I do, because Hebrew has the short, has the root word. Oh my goodness, I know a bit. How many people? Sorry? Hebrew? Well, you could go to Ulpan, but not besides that. Oh, sorry. Okay, we're doing the earth. The earth. I feel the earth move under my feet. That was a joke. No one got it. I feel the earth.
Say it again. I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
What?
Say it again.
I feel the earth move under my feet.
Under
my feet. It's a song. You have to be like North American. Anyways. Okay, so actually, the earth actually has two songs, which is very unusual. Later on, we're going to see somebody else's two songs. I don't remember which, and then whatever. But it's usually there's one song, but earth has two songs. Okay, so what does the earth say? First one he says is from Tehillim. Wow, it's so hot over here. It is, right?
because the door is open.
Because the door is open.
There is a coming, but the door is open.
Okay, the earth is saying. Don't forget also, like we're just starting this whole Perek Shira journey. So when we say that, we have to remember to say that the earth says in the present tense. This is going on all the time. That's the idea of Perek Shira. Okay, the earth says, La Hashem ha'aretz imiloah tevel v'yoshveha ve'esheva. To Hashem is the earth and its fullness, the inhabited area, and all who dwell in it. Now, a lot of people, you ever notice that when they buy a new book, they put this pasuk at the beginning of this pasuk in their sefer. because these are mine, so so my husband would put it, but I don't, I just write my name, because nothing is really ours, everything really belongs to Hashem. And so they put the base, what?
Say something though.
No, La Hashem, I think it's Lamed, Hey, Yod, something like that. La Hashem. Some people put it in, before they put their name in a sefer, they put the Rosh Tevos of this pasuk to show that this is not mine. Nothing. My husband do it. Usually that's what people do, to show that this is not mine. It's not my book. It's Hashem's book. So I'm not going to write the first, not the first, the first letters of what the verses say. That everything belongs to Hashem. She's impressed. Okay, and then the next song is, then it says, after that it says, Omer, Mikanaf Arts Miros Shamanu Tzvila Tzadik. And it is saying, from the wings of the land we have heard song, glory to the righteous. Okay. So we know the word, it's like this, La Shem Ha'aretz. So usually they do it like this. They put Lamed, Hey, and then two chicks and another Hey. I don't know. Judy, do you ever see it? Maybe you haven't.
What?
You know, the front, and when people, do you put in your book? A lot of times when people, yeah.
I never remember what the Russian.
Right. Good. Yes, right. Right. Yeah.
Them.
Right. Okay. Well, just giving us the idea of that Hashem owns the world. We don't own anything. Okay. So the world belongs to Hashem. And anyway, this I've given over before because this is one of my favorite things I've ever learned out of all of the Torah. Okay. This is from the Gemara. Anyone who derives pleasure from his world without reciting the proper blessing, expressing thanks to the owner, is regarded as a thief. Problem, right? It's a problem. You're not allowed, and that's a direct quote from Gemara Brachas. You're not allowed to enjoy anything from Hashem without first making a bracha. And if you do, you can see it as thief. So it's a little bit of a problem, right? So what should you do? There's a remedy to the problem, Baruch Hashem. Okay, so what's the remedy? Does anyone know? Because I've said this so many times. No one knows this? Thank you. Oh, I'm saying something that somebody listens to. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. So you have a problem. I just told you that if you enjoy something and you didn't from Hashem's world, you're a thief. So what are you going to do? You don't want to do that. Let's say you go outside now, you see this incredible tree budding, or you see this bird with incredible colors, or whatever it is. Like to me, smell the top of a baby's head. I am like, wow, you get higher. I mean, it's like, oh, anything. My friend had a 2-week-old baby for a house for shopping. It's like, you're so lucky. Whatever. Should have become a nurse. Anyways. So what do you do to get out of this problem of becoming a thief? Is in the morning, probably everybody here in the morning, you have a drink, right? Water, coffee, whatever. So when you make your shahakol in the morning, have it in mind that any pleasure you're going to have during the day, this bracha is covering it.
Wow.
And then you're this is siftei chachamim on brachas. This is like not one person said. This is something like that everybody holds by. Okay, so then you're like, it just makes everything that you see and enjoy in the world, makes it just, whatever it is that, sometimes you can even see somebody, the way they're dressed, their colors, and they're like, nail polish. I mean, how do you do that? And you change your nail polish every day, or you change your clothes every day? I don't know. I get pleasure from these things. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Look at that.
Okay.
You are. You did that very well. I did pretty good. No, look at the earrings. Yeah.
How can you have that kavana when you just
Well, I don't think you're making a shahakal when you first wake up your eyes, sweetheart, because you should have said Birkas Shachar first. Well, if you keep this in mind, the truth of the matter is, I promise you, I did this for a while. I had a Petek on my refrigerator, and I did it for Ili Nishmas for a friend of mine when it was the year of her Avelis. So I did this I had this. So when you have a Petek, it's always a good idea to have a Petek, and then you can see that you can do it, right? Okay, this is it from the Shir Shel Yom of Sunday. Okay, for those who say every day there's a different Tehillim that people say. But this is the one for Sunday. Why Sunday? In a way, it makes sense, right? It's the earth, right? It's the first day. Rabbi Kiva says on the first day of the week, the Levites sang this song. Okay, why? Because it teaches that Hashem took possession of the newly created world himself for the sake of transferring possession to mankind. Yet he's the sole master. Yeah, this whole thing, people who know me know that I'm a Rabashkin or Chassid. And one of the things that I just knew about Rav Rabashkin is one of the things that kept him going. It says in Perkei Avos that we are extremely beloved to Hashem. There's a chiba d'seira. And just knowing how much Hashem loves, he said, knowing that Hashem loves me so much, kept him going. It's really something, right? If you think like, I don't know, whoever you have in your life, whether it's your parents or your spouse or your children, you feel you're so needed and wanted in this world because your mother would fall apart if actually there's this crazy story. I'm not going to tell the whole story because it's a little bit long, about this kid who was going to commit suicide. He was taking pills. He was on his way to do this. I have it on tape and he was going to. And he was like, that's it, he's finished, he can't do it. He took one, and he took two, and he took three, and he had a whole jar. And then the phone rang, and it was a picture of his father. And he said, Abba, call an ambulance right now. I'm in the middle of overdosing. It was a miracle. But as soon as he saw his father, he's like, he will never get over this. And that's like the hashkafa part, right? So, and he wasn't like, my father doesn't love me anyways, and he couldn't care about me, and he's got more kids anyways, and did that. No, he saw his father's face. He's like, I'll never get over this. So that's one of the things that we have to make sure our children know, that even though they can make us absolutely crazy, that they're absolutely indispensable. So though this is like this whole idea that Hashem made the earth, it's his, and he made it for us to enjoy. He wants us to enjoy it, okay? The earth is a place that invites the presence of Hashem to dwell in its midst. Hashem loves man and wants to dwell among us if only we will live lives of awareness and integrity, okay? This is like we're supposed to take everything in the world and use it the way Hashem has told us to use it, okay? Now, this thing is going to knock your socks off if Hashem gives me the cough to give it over clearly. Okay, so this is French, Spanish, it's Hebrew. There's a thing called Mansapach. Mansapach is, these letters should look familiar to you. Alana, you should know what they are. They're all the letters, they're all the letters that have, good.
So
Right. There's mem sofit, nun sofit, tzadik, langa tzadik, hey, and kuf. Okay, it reminds me of marzipan, but whatever, kaf. Thank you. Kaf, not good, kaf. Now, it's not in order, but that we do this, right? And we put things into a word so you can remember the word. It's called something in English. Mnemonic, thank you. Okay, so this is Mansapach. Now, this is from this sefer, which is an explanation on Perek Shira from the Mabit. Who was the Mabit? He was a very big Rav. He was Av based in of Tzfat.
really,
Yeah, he wrote the sefer and also Chida. I don't use it very much because it's not. It's hard for me, but but this is where I got this from. Okay, so these are called the letters of Geula. This thing called Matzapah is
Is
called
the end time Sophie names, these are letters Sophie Gulas.
maybe for sure. That makes sense, right? They're called Otiota Geula. Now, I wrote it in small, then my husband wrote it in bigger, so I don't know, whatever. So, okay, so the first, they're not in order, but where do these letters come from? If I tell you they're the letters of the Geula, how do we know this? This is all from the Sefer. Okay, the Kaf is from Lech Lecha. Okay, that's one of the only ones that we all know, right? That's from Avram Avinu. Hashem tells him, okay, Lech Lecha. The man is from the pasuk. My husband just looked it up for me yesterday. I wrote it down today. Ki at samat mimenu ma'od. That's Yitzchak Avinu. For you have become mightier than me. This is Avimelech was saying this to Yitzchak. Okay, so first of all, just want to tell you that these letters have to do with Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then Geulat Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim has a pasuk, whatever that means. And then there's the Tzad. Okay, so the first one we said is Avram Avinu from Lech Lecha. We know that one. The second one means is that Avimelech said to Yitzchak, I, Hashem, for you have become mightier than we. Okay, you guys want to look it up, but whatever. We don't need to know all that right now. The Nun is Hatzileni Na. That's Yaakov Avinu. You see what's going on here? Kaf, kaf. Mem, Nun, Hatzileni Na. Okay, and that
Nun, the one that winds up getting
dropped
turned up, and also turned upside down.
sometimes,
in
right? Yeah.
Parsha. And that's like like all the suffering, and then
Okay.
Gula.
Okay, good. All right. And then the pay is Mitzrayim is talking, Pakod Pakadati. That is in Shmos. Hashem says to Moshe, I have indeed taken account of you and what is done to you in Egypt. I'm not going to go into all this because that's the point right now. And the tzaddik, Summit Tzedek, which everyone thinks is the name of a Labat Rebbe, it's not. It's the name of a sefer he wrote, so he's known by his sefer, like Baal Tanya. And that is from Yirmiyahu, when Hashem says, I will cause a sprout of righteousness to sprout forth for David. Okay, so you got all that? Okay, so now let's go back to the pasuk. This is confusing, I know, believe you me. So it says in the pasuk, Mikanaf haaretz, right? Ismiros shamanu to Mikanaf. So we have here the letters of Mikanaf, right? We've got the mem, the kaf, the nun, and the pei. Mikanaf, meaning, right, from the wings. Kanaf is like kanafayim. If you want to buy chicken wings for Shabbos, you have to ask for kanafayim. Okay, from the wings, it's going to come what? The tzaddik, and that's the tzaddik over here. Okay, so this shows that this whole thing has to do with Geula, and it says in the shir, in here it says Mikanaf Aretz Smo Shamanu Tzvi L'Tzadik.
What are the wings of the earth?
What?
What are the wings of the earth?
Where are the? Hold on, let me read this inside. Okay, hold on a second. Kanaf Lomar Shar. So it's proving from here that the word kanaf is talking about a song. Hivir Raya, and he brings Amina Pashat Bain so he's going to talk about how whatever. Okay, the matter. So this is from something called Perek Rabbi Eliezer, which is a medrash, that these letters, Matzapach, are the letters of Geula, Avram Avinu, like we said, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and also even Mitzrayim has this one of these pasukim. Okay, right? So it says Mikanaf. These letters are from this Shamanu. It was heard. It says Mikanaf from there, it was heard. What was heard? This geula that's going to come, right? And what's missing is just the tzaddik, which is to do with the upcoming geula, the geula hatida. The O tzaddik shetitkayem, that's going to happen in the future. And this is a romance, this is a hint of the malchut, that is the galus, that's going to happen, that we're going to hear from the kanaf of and the tzvila tzaddik that is hinted to when we say uvo letzion goel. That so all these things have to do. I know it's very deep and a little complicated, but basically what it's saying in here, we've got this hint of all these pesukim to do with what's going to happen with that. In one word, you could see that there's so much hidden stuff, and it has to do with the actual geula. So it's really a lot in there. Hope that was somewhat clear. The pasuk, the second pasuk that we said, right? It says, I'll read it in English. From the edge of the earth, we have heard songs, right? This is from Yeshaya, and it's explaining that Chizkiyahu Amelech was fit to be Mashiach, but he failed, but he wasn't, right? Why was he fit to be Mashiach? Because he had he was a great conqueror, and he did what he was very much sick. So why did he not become Melech?
Wars.
What?
A lot of wars. He fought a lot.
Sorry?
Blood.
He didn't sing. He didn't sing. And just in case you're wondering why I'm making such a big deal of Perek Shira, here he was. He was fit. What?
Are you the one who has trouble singing?
Yeah. I always say it's mutar for a man to listen to me sing, but I don't have. So he was fit to be king, but because he failed to sing shir to Hashem after the miraculous victory after Sancherib, so he was not. The land, Eretz Israel said, I will sing for him. So the land sings the song from Yehoshua, from Yeshaya. The land was afraid that the Gauls would make it desolate when Klal were banished from it. Remember, there was a time when we weren't here. And so this is from the Maharsha. So the line said, I'm going to keep singing. Yeshaya didn't sing, but the line says, I'm going to keep singing. And you see, not only are we back, we're back and we're big. So what song did the line sing? The zmiros of the mitzvahs that can be done only in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, it says in Tehillim, it says, your statutes were music to me in my dwelling place. And in Hebrew, it says, miros hayuli. So, kokecha bebeis migori. Your statutes, they were called songs. The mitzvos are called songs. David Melech calls the chukim of the Torah zmiros. The land sings of its desire to be a tool in man's fulfillment of the mitzvahs and its longing for the geula. So that's what he's singing about. So when we use the physical world to do mitzvahs, we're bringing out the song of the land, the fulfillment of its potential. That's the song of the land. Don't forget, when we're talking about the land, we're not talking about like the physical, like the ground, like the dirt, right? We're talking about the aretz. So here, that's what the picture here. That's the same one, like the globe, right? So Hashem wants us to use the land, the world, for serving Him, and giving this hint to that it's all going to be all come together with the geula that started all the way from Avram Avinu. I always love the fact that the Haggadah, when does the story start? It doesn't start at the burning bush. It starts with Avram Avinu. Avram was
with Edmund.
in the Haggadah.
Oh, the Haggadah. Okay.
The Haggadah starts with Avram. Okay, now the next two are really connected. I really want to do both of them because I love this picture. If you ever picture in your eyes what's Gan Eden, I think that's pretty gosh darn close. By the way, the person who did this book, he lives in Ganei Adar. I bought it from him. He came to my house with his wife. And I told him, that we learned it here in Tzfat, and he was very thrilled. What's their picture over there? Sorry? Oh, okay.
Doba, yours is all flowers.
Okay, good, good. This is like wild picture. Okay. After this class, you are gonna have a whole different, hopefully, whole different feeling towards what is Gehenna. Because I think a lot of us, whether we were involved with other religions or not, Gehenna, according to our tradition, is a wonderful thing. It's great, okay? Not everything in life is fun. Going to the dentist ain't fun, but it's a great thing. And, people who lived hundreds of years ago and didn't go to the dentist and got infections and who knows and whatever, there could be things that are not fun, but it doesn't mean that it's not good. Okay, Gan Eden, what does Gan Eden say? This is like Shira, it's so Shira, right? Uri Tzafon, Uloi Teman, Hafiki Gani is Lu Vasamav, Yavo Dodi Lagano, Yachal Pri Magadav. Awake from the north and come from the south. Blow upon my garden, let its spices flow. Let my beloved come to his garden and eat its precious fruit. Is that like it's so Shira, right? Okay, now let's try and figure out what it's talking about here. The north always, the Tzafon always represents our desire for physical pleasure and gratification. Okay, that's the north. The south, we hear it doesn't say south, it says Taman. Taman refers to the south. Okay, the south wind represents the soul's longing for spiritual fulfillment. Okay, so again, it said, right, awake from the north and come from the south. Okay, Gan Eden and Gehenna are places Hashem created to reward and punish souls after their stay in this world. And Gan Eden, literally translated in Bereshit, translated as garden of refinement. It's a whole different way of thinking, right? The song of Gan Eden, taken from Shir Hashem, which is the sefer that describes the loving relationship between us and Hashem, right? And it's so fitting because Gan Eden is the home of the human soul in the afterlife, where reward is defined as terms of closeness to Hashem. There's some people who get really bothered by hearing about Olam Haba, Gan Eden, because they're like, I'm not doing it just for my big, plot of land. I'm doing it because I want to be close to Hashem. Duh. That's what Gan Eden is. I teach her Bitachon, and sometimes women have a hard time with it. I don't want to hear about Gan Eden. I don't want to hear about Olam Haba. I just want to hear about coming close to you, Hashem. So I asked Rav Rabashkin, after when he came to speak, I went up to him afterwards and I said, these women kill me. They don't want to hear about Olam Haba, because there's a very famous thing that one of Lubavitcher Rebbe said, I don't want your Olam Haba, I just want you. He said, that's a very high level. And he says, they're wrong. I said, can I tell them they're wrong? He said, yes, of course. Olam Haba is one of the Rambam's Yud Gimel Yakari. We're supposed to believe in Olam Haba. We do things, we want Olam Haba. But why do we want Olam Haba? Because Olam Haba is this the closeness to Hashem that is like nothing that we could even imagine. Because why can't we imagine it? Because we're physical. We don't understand how our soul could be so happy. We don't understand that stuff. I mean, we get a glimpse of it every once in a while when we learn Torah or do a mitzvah. But this whole Gan Eden thing is completely not physical. We have to keep that in mind.
So though I think what Alka represents, he doesn't want like because he wants to say, I want to serve you without any reward. pure love, incredible
But we
love.
want you.
No. What he said.
Right.
Because like we don't do it for the reward. We do it out of love to Hashem. It's what he meant. But it of course it is.
It is, but it's extremely high
Yeah,
level.
yes, of course.
Really,
But
really,
what
it's
he
very-
said, we don't do
Right.
it like for rewards, for the payment. We want
Right,
it to do
right.
what he said.
But we have to keep in mind that the payment is not chocolate sundae with fudge sauce, whipped cream and chopped nuts. That's not the payment. The payment is closest to Hashem.
Yeah, exactly.
I think people, I've had different moments where they felt that. I have had that. I've had it when I've had tremendous nisayon, like when my son got badly burned and when I had a premature baby. I felt very, very close to Hashem. I knew there was no address, no doctor. It's just Hashem who can help me out of it. And then on the other side, when I had, I tell people this funny story about when my sons got married and I did not know, but the ring was lost. And they were smart, they never told me, but I'm standing under the chuppah and I didn't know why the chuppah was going on and on. That was not a confusion. Told my husband to get one of my sons, run out and get another ring so we could do this thing. And I just felt so much when I found it afterwards, I felt like the next day, I think some of us kind of felt this also, most of Shabbos, when we heard the news of the hostages. It was a certain like, Shem, you haven't abandoned us. I mean, we keep saying, I think it came right on time. Because I felt like there was we were really starting to go, how long is this going on for? I don't see anything happening. This is really hard, Hashem. And I have a son who's a soldier, and he said, the morale ain't so good. And then Hashem was like, okay, you guys need something. I'm gonna give you guys something. Because we know Hashem is with us. We know that, and we know Hashem loves us, and we know that there's a plan. But sometimes it's really hard. And I think Hashem he really gave us something to keep us, okay, let's just get ourselves going on again.
Said, it's very important, very, very important, because sometimes we think, like, oh, we need to have reward over there, we have big Gan Eden, and you have a cup of tea there. But what you said really is, it's not to be there, it be reward for like being in a beautiful place. It's exactly what you said. To be close to Hashem.
Right.
This is very
That's
important.
all we really want.
This is exactly very,
Right.
very important point.
Right. Even there's a beautiful article, Rav Pinkus. I gave it over a couple times. It's called The 5 Amazing Tools of Avodas Hashem. And one of them is that sometimes Hashem does something like, like if I push. She's going to use everything she can to get her balance back. Right now she's relaxed, hopefully, but if not, so sometimes Hashem sends us something to shake us up. So we say, Hashem, please don't do that. I always say, Hashem, please don't send me to the H place, except for the 4th floor. Don't send me there to wake me up. I want to be close to you, Hashem, and I know you want to be close to me. It says why we're all the Imaot barren, because Hashem loves the prayer of tzaddikim. So no, we don't want any of that. We want to serve Hashem. So it says how to avoid that. Keep davening to Hashem and keep thanking Hashem and keep saying, doing all your mitzvahs, and don't wait for something to push you to say, okay, I'll take on Sefer Tehillim. No, just do it anyways. Okay, this is not me that's saying. Okay, so when it says eat its precious fruit, it's the precious foods are talking about our mitzvahs. Gan Eden is the time and place to see the garden that we have created. Okay, so we're creating our own Gan Eden, right? But our share first speaks about scent, right? It says, let its spices flow, right? Scent is a reference to pleasure of the soul. When you eat something, it's or touch something, it's much more, whatever. If I touch something hot, as soon as I take my hand off, my hand's not hot anymore. It's cold and not cold. If it's up, scent is much more of a lingering feeling, right? What do we do after Shabbos? We have to smell, we have to get ourselves back, we have to waken ourselves up because we're losing that neshama nesera. The Ben Yehuda says that smell gives a short-lived physical pleasure, but a long-lasting pleasure to the mind. Thank you. Say it again.
Scent is, smell is part of the olfactory nerve, which is connected to the memory.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't know,
That's
what you
why
guys,
when
my
you smell
husband,
something, remind
Yeah.
you, it's a memory of whatever, or you
Yeah.
smell something, you're like, oh wow, that just reminded
Yeah.
me of my
Right.
friend or my grandmother.
Right. Somebody once gave me a certain soap as a gift after I had a baby. And I just wanted to, I bought that soap for so long. I eventually stopped, but I just wanted to remember. I actually had the lipstick from my wedding, it was finished. I don't know, maybe I even still have it. I don't know. I had it for so long. I just wanted to smell it to remember my wedding day. It was just smell it. Get the smell of the lipstick. So now I know why.
That's very.
So, yeah, so you might not remember that, what I'm saying, but you'll remember this. Smell is linshom, right? And to breathe is neshama. From your soul is breathing. Your neshama here is the same. It's the same. Neshama affects our neshama, right? Thus, the pleasures of Gan Eden are pleasures of the soul, which brings us back to what we were saying. So when people talk about Gan Eden, like, I don't want your Gan Eden, yeah, we do, because it's not a bad thing. It's not about this temporary thing that's physical. Okay, now back in the Beit Mikdash, there was different kinds of korbanot, right? There was a korban olah, which was slaughtered on the northern part of the Mizbeach, right? And that's right. We said that tzafon. We said that the pasuk says, "Early tzafon, wake up the north." We said the north has to do with physical gratification, right? So the korban olah was entirely burnt, representing the desire to completely sublimate oneself, body and soul to Hashem. This is what you really wanted to do. When you brought a korban, you put your hand on the korban, and we're supposed to think that this is really me, but it's not me. Hashem has Rahmanis, it's not me. It's the korban that's going to go get burned up. It's to physically, we just want to be completely alavai connected to Hashem spiritually. Okay. Then the Taman, the south, that is referring to the korban shleimim. And the korban shleimim was brought for kirva, closeness to Hashem, but the meats were shared between the one who brought it, the Kohen, and the Mizbeach, and the Mizbeach. So the first one was burnt completely because that's the taivas and the physical stuff that we don't want. But the korban shleimim, which was the south, had to do with the ruchnis, right? So before Matan Torah, the Ola offerings were brought, and they were the carbonas that were fully burnt, okay? When we say Uri Tzafon, wake up the north, we're awakening the ancient practice of the Ola offering. We want it to come back. Uvoi Tema, there's a newer form of butter that came after Matan Torah. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to, there's a lot of information, I'm sorry, but take what you can take. We're trying to get rid of or burn away as much as the physical parts that we can do. And I have to tell you, like, sometimes when I heard these things, I didn't get it, because what do you want from me? I'm just trying to run my life and be a good, wife, mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, friend, teacher, whatever I am. I can't work on taivas, it's too much. But you know what? When I started getting to a point where when I stopped eating certain foods, I feel better, then it makes me a better wife, mother, So it's not like, oh, I can't work on all these taiva stuff. Well, you know what? Do it. You'll feel better. Eat better. Exercise. All that stuff that I feel like I can't believe I'm the one who's saying this, because I always heard other people say it, right? Anyone who remembers Teva Ryder, she's always telling us, got to exercise, whatever. No, this is what we want to do. Why? Because we want to be better of Day Hashem. We want to serve Hashem better. Well, so we want to serve Hashem better. We have to stop with all the taivas, all the stuff in the north, so that we could do the south stuff. Okay. So Adam and Chava were given Gan Eden, but they failed. Right? But the garden remains in Hashem's plan, and we will yet combine the two winds and enjoy the ultimate aroma of the fruit of holiness. So these ideas, we don't have the Gan Eden right now, but we have these ideas, the ideas of getting away from the physicality as much as we can. Listen, there's absolutely nothing wrong with not eating junk food except for on Shabbos. You know, and on Shabbos, if you eat too much junk food and you feel sick, don't eat it on Shabbos. Oh, the covered Shabbos Kodesh, I'm sick. No, 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 it's ridiculous. You know, like whatever, just a certain, you know, and you see it in the people who live in your house also. If you see that you're serving Coke and then everyone's like flying around the house, don't serve Coke. You know, like hello, you know, like there's just like we have to bring this into our Avodas Hashem, and I really feel like it's really important to do this. Okay, now Gehenna. Gehenna. Here's a picture of Gehenna. That's good for this time of the year, right?
Raising the temperature, just looking at it.
I know. Okay. So what does Gehenna say? Gehenna says, Ki hispia nefesh shokecha v'nefesh reiva malei tov, which is from Tehillim. For he sated the yearning soul and filled the hungry soul with good. So first of all, where it says nefesh reiva, ki hispia nefesh shokecha, right? He sated the yearning soul. So see this? Hispia nefesh shokecha is Hey, Nun, and Shin, right? That's the word Shana, and that's why we have the tradition that a person is only in an evil person spends 12 months, maximum in Gehenna. Okay, so we got that right there in the Shana.
How long?
12 months, Shana.
Wow.
Most people, 11
But is it our time or Hashem's time?
Yeah, good question. Good question. And anyways, it also shows that it's not forever. It's not forever. It's not like, oh, well, that's it. You lost. Open up the pit, you know, whatever.
So Doba, one of the great rabbis, maybe in Gemara said, when after 120 years he was there, and Hashem gave us choice to go back to earth or to go to Genom. Choose Genom, because otherwise you don't know what you become here.
Okay. Also, this is pretty cool. This pasuk of Tehillim that it comes from is Perek. It comes from Perek Kuf Gimel, which is 103, which is the same gematria as Gehenna.
What is it?
Nice.
What is it?
This pasuk comes from the Tehillim Kuf Gimel. Kuf Gimel is 103. Kuf Zion. I'm sorry, Kuf Zion. Comes from Kuf Zion. 107, which is the same gematria as the word Gehenna. Okay.
It's very strange because in this psalm Hashem is bless Hashem for so many things, for the drawing, for this. It's very strange because it's our blessing for Hashem. If something happened in our time, maybe I said you have to say it.
That's the whole point. That is the whole point, Leah. The whole point is Gehenna is a blessing.
Okay.
And you could be there for less time too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're gonna be okay. So in the Rechov Haggadah, you know, one of the big things that Rechov teaches is, right, Al Tikesh, don't give up. People are expected to mess up, right? It's just like, you know, that's just the way it works. Hashem gives, you know, if there's just absolutely no way, you know, when you're a Baal Tshuva, you think you're gonna just start a clean slate and you're never gonna get an Avera, and then somebody says, oh, you know, sorry, you weren't allowed to carry that on Shabbos. And you're like, oh. Anyways, so therefore Gehenna and the angels of death were created. They're both called Tov Ma'od. Very good. This is from Reishis Rabbah, that the angels of death and Gehenna are called Tov Ma'od. Okay? Now listen.
It's really big deal.
Well, that's the difference, yeah, for sure. The person suffering, sure, yeah. Okay, listen to this. This is a quote from the Ramchal. This is from Derech Hashem. If you haven't learned Derech Hashem, it's like a beseech safer, and not easy. So I'm not telling you go and buy Derech Hashem. You would have to buy. I have a great safer of Rabbi Twersky. Explain great safer. Explaining Derech Hashem, but you could also go online and listen to classes. I know there's so much, but it's like one of the basic fundamental svarim in all of Yiddishkeit. Okay, listen to this. This is from her. This is the general punishment that most people are ascribed, which is the decree of Gehenna. And the intention is to punish the sinner in accordance with his sin, so that after the punishment, he no longer has a debt hanging over him on account of his bad deeds. And he is then able to receive the true reward in accordance with his good deeds for eternal pleasure. You guys sold? Gehenna is a great thing. No?
Getting a spanking and then you
What?
don't have the punishment.
Why not? You don't want eternal pleasure? Listen, the Mark says,
So why do they call it, why do they call it that?
why do they call
Why don't
it?
they just call it like Shema
Washing
heaven
machine?
or a nice.
No, because I think
Why is
what
that? It just puts me off.
I hear it. Listen, we're not looking forward to it. It's not something we want to do. It's like, listen, do you want to go to the dentist?
No.
Doba, don't see not
I
for
wish I have to tell you, I have a whole thing about going to the dentist, because I used to be
Doba.
petrified of going to the dentist.
Don't
Like I remember one time, but Sheva, she said, you want me to go with you? And I did this whole meditation, and I did this whole thing to learn about how going to the dentist. I mean, I had babies and it hurts. So you would think the dentist, I would be okay with, but I wasn't.
Doba, I know you got like very much, but don't sin on purpose.
Nachon. But aren't you happy that there's a way, like if you think,
Sometimes it's there, but do you like it so much, so do
Don't-
it like something wrong because
Right.
it's there.
don't quote me on
Leave the
this,
rule.
don't quote me on this, but I once heard, what's the difference between if a woman or a man watches a movie that's improper? Don't quote me, okay, because I have to find it again, but it's a man sees something he's not supposed to, he just has to do tshuva. A woman gets scarred.
What woman?
A woman gets scarred. Why do when you a man and a woman, okay, I'm generalizing, but why when a man and a woman see a movie, a man's like, whatever, and a woman is like, you know? Because that's the way we are. I was on the plane by myself. So I decided to watch a movie of the Smurfs.
Smart.
Smurfs.
Oh.
Anyone here not know what a Smurf is?
Yes.
Smurf is a cartoon. It's not even real. Now, Smurf has Smurfette,
Yes.
one female. Smurfette was dying. And there's Doba on the plane, tears. And I'm like, Doba, stop it. Stop it. I'm like this. I'm like, it's Smurfette, for crying out loud. It's not even it's not even Lassie. It's not even Old Yeller. It's Smurfette. I just want everyone to be relaxed. I don't want anyone to have nightmares tonight. Smurfette comes back to life.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was on the plane going, get a life. My goodness. It is. It is, but that's just what, just like whatever. So when we just have all these things. So it's nice to know that when we do something, it's not going to just get stuck on us. We could have a place where it's going to cleanse us from it, and we could go to a different place.
Yeah, you have to watch another movie showing the Rebbe talk. So
Right.
So is that Jews only? Or we not talking about?
I don't know.
Okay, second question is, what if someone's like a mass murderer and a rapist and blah, 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 are they just gonna have this in that case? We don't know.
they
Is
do
there-
too, but
They have no choice.
they do too, but they don't go.
Some very bad.
It could be. There is such a thing as, right.
Your message.
Right, there is such a thing as people who don't have a place in Olam Haba, but it's really, Rebbe Heller once said, you have to work really hard to become a Rasha. It's not easy to have the definition of Russia. Okay,
Yeah.
one of my favorite people in all of Tanakh, actually not Tanakh, it's Gemara, is Acher. Anyone know who Acher was?
Yeah, they called him the other,
Yeah.
his name.
So, yeah.
So,
So Rabbi Elisha ben Abuya, and I get very emotional about Acher. And his name was Rabbi Elisha ben Abuya. He's in Pirkei Avos. He's the one who says, "Don't judge by its cover." His main Talmud was Rabbi Meir, and some people are like, "Yeah, well, Acher, you know what happened? Demi went off." And my proof is that he was not off. Is that if he was off, they wouldn't put him for gallows. And Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson has an incredible share about him. And because what happened is the Bas came down and said, "There's no place in the world to come for Acher." So he gave up when he heard that. But what he should have heard was, "There's no place for Acher." For Rabbi Elisha ben Abuya, yeah. My English name is Andrea. So there's no room in Gan Eden for Andrea, but for Doba, yes. Andrea did stuff that's not proper. But you know, well, no, I want some chewed gum. Yeah.
and
smoked. What? And the son watched it, right. But Doba, but he wasn't, Acher, yeah, there's no room for him in Fulham. But for Rebbe, okay, so listen to this story, because why am I talking about this to do with Gan Eden, okay? Okay, the soul, so we just read the Derech Hashem that says that that after he goes through, he has a debt hanging over him for his bad deeds. And then, so now he goes to Gan Eden, Gehenna, and then he'll be able to receive the true reward according to his good deeds for eternal pleasure. Okay, so now, this is from the Gemara of how Rebbe Meir, who was a student of Acher, made efforts on behalf of his teacher to help him to enter Olam Haba. Okay? When Acher died, it was said, "Let him not be brought into judgment because he occupied himself with Torah." He shouldn't have to go to, even though he did bad things, he was a huge Talmid Chacham. But let him be admitted to the world to come, but let him not be admitted to the world to come because he sinned. So what are you going to do? Nishka here, nishka there, as they say, right? Rebbe Meir said it would have been better, he said about himself, Rebbe Meir, it would have been better if he would have been brought to judgment and punished than admitted to the world to come. I wish I would die in order that smoke should go up from his grave. As promised, when Rebbe Meir died, he did his teacher the service of enabling him to enter Gehenna, a gateway to the world to come. Rebbe Meir did this. On seeing the smoke rising from the grave of Acher, Rebbe Yochanan pledged that when he died, he would pull Acher out of Gehenna. The smoke seized upon the death of Rebbe Yochanan.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is like, so yeah. So we learn from Gehenna to be thankful that Hashem provides us with a means of purification before the soul can enter Gan Eden. So it's you know, listen, like I said, you know, people have to go through hard times, and sometimes they know that it's going to be a good, like going to the dentist, you know, like people know that it's a known thing that people are scared to go to the dentist, but they go. Why? Because they have to, because they know that if not, they could get infected, it could get worse, they could get root canal, whatever it is. But even though it's that, but basically what he's saying, the song of Gehenna is that he satiated the yearning soul and filled the hungry soul with good. Right? And remember what we said? We said that Gehenna and the angel of death are both called Tov Me'od. So if you say to somebody, "Go to hell," they might say, "No, whatever. Whatever. We're not. You know, we don't eat candy and say, okay, we'll go to the dentist. Of course not. We do what we can do in this world so that we can, you know, prevent as much as possible. But the bottom line is that's what we want to do. You want to hear a joke? And the one is, anyone who's done anyone do any work with a I say kablan contractor here in Israel, it's really get a lot. It really could be a nightmare. Okay, so the people in Gan Eden were like partying, and the people in Gehenna were partying, and they said, you know what? Why don't we party together? So I have a good. The people in Gan Eden said, I have a good idea. We'll make a ladder halfway from Gan Eden to Gehenna, and the people from Gehenna will make a ladder halfway from Gehenna to Gan Eden, and then we'll be able to go back and forth, and we can socialize together, right? So the people from Gan Eden, they work hard, and they finish their half of the ladder. But where's the other half of the ladder? I got the whole story wrong. The people from Gehenna worked and they made their ladder. And they're working, they finished their ladder and they made it halfway. And the people in Gan Eden, nobody was doing anything. Why not? Because there's no contractors up in Gan Eden.
It's the same joke about the rabbi and the bus driver making it to up. They both died, and Hashem took the bus driver